What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Lucky Underdogs podcast, brought to you by Believe Network on Bally and all platforms where you can find your podcast, man. It's your boy Devin Butler back in the place to be, joined by my homie always,
CJ Prosise, man. Glad to be here with y'all, man. The Lucky Underdog. Back for another week.
Yeah,
Yes,
another
sir.
one.
Yes, sir.
Like Khaled say, another one.
Another one.
We're going to jump right into it because Notre Dame finally touched the field. They was out in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
They put that work in.
Yeah, we was out in
Today
Dublin.
we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to go over some of the highlights, some of the key players that we saw on the offensive side and the defensive side. And then we're going to wrap that up. We're going to focus on Tennessee State moving forward to the next game because it's that next play mentality, next game, next man up. And once we wrap that up, we're going to touch on some current events, touch on some Americans hating on American sports. And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Hate to see it.
Crazy.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, man. We divided, we fall, man. United, we conquer.
You feel me? But 42 to, was it 42 to 3? Is that how 42 to 3?
3 of them.
Listen, man. Good game. It's Navy though. First game against Navy. It's kind of what you expect. Like you got the whole off season to prepare. It should come out. It should be looking like that.
I mean, but sometimes Navy can sneak up on us though. Like we played Navy close. I mean, just last year they almost got us. You know what I mean? So
yeah, first game of the season.
Sleep on them.
It's like a first game of the season. That's like you got to shut them down because it's like you got so much time to prepare everybody 100%. Nah, man, it's got to be. That's had to be what it looked like. Freeman did a great job getting them boys prepared. Did a great job executing. They looked hungry. We're good to go. That's what it's about. And Sam Hartman did a good job. But it's Navy. It's Navy.
Yeah,
so we gotta see some things. They ain't got no pass rushers. You ain't got nobody really getting after the quarterback. So we
definitely
really gonna see.
Chill day in the office.
Yeah, man. He's sitting back there just cooking steaks, man. He was back there cooking steaks all day. So man, we ain't even ain't have nothing to do all day. So we'll see going forward how we doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the offense definitely looked good. I mean, they was clicking. The young guys was involved. I really like seeing the young guys involved and seeing the ball get spread around. I think it was 4 different receivers caught touchdowns that day.
For sure. No,
so that's always good to see that balance.
No, I'm really excited for the offense, man. Like I said last week and before, it's just like we got so many weapons now, man. And I'm like, I'm gonna be real critical of Hartman all the time, just because I want to be, I need to be, just make sure he staying doing his thing. But like, listen, man, he did a great job getting the ball to all the guys, the running backs, every running back looks explosive. Like they all look different, but they all look explosive, and that's what you want, man. You got guys who gonna break all big plays in the backfield, and then you got a quarterback gonna get the ball to the guys out on the outside. So looking good going forward.
I think the biggest thing that I was excited to see was that guard play. Yeah, you had those 2 new guards, but that O-line looked veteran, savvy.
And we ain't worried about that.
Obviously, it's Navy. It's a little undersized, but still to be able to dominate as you should and as emphatically as you should. Because Notre Dame, one thing that I've noticed about us, those season openers, not always big wins. I think the last win that we had in the season opener like this, when we played Texas, was it like 35-3 at home?
Yeah, 38-3 or something like that. Yeah,
38. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's always good to see the boys get on the board.
Right? I think the most impressive thing for me watching was just how prepared and how well just ready they were, man. There was no mistakes. Every offense or defense, it was everybody just did their job the right way, and that's what you like. That's what you love going forward, man. Especially with the depth of this team, crazy. Because
it was a lot of subs
position
coming in.
Hell yeah,
it was subs coming in, and there was no drop off.
Yeah, and then that's what you want. That's what you want. Going later in the season. So man, it's exciting. Looking forward, man. Especially coming up to Tennessee State, which should be another just 60. I feel like we should put up 60 points on these boys. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. But before we go into that, let me talk about this defense one time, man.
Oh yeah. We can't
to
miss
hold
that.
Navy to hold Navy to 2.6 yards per rush, yeah, that's big right there. Like,
Yes.
that's what you need. That's what you
Mhm.
need. I mean, the linebacker core was looking stout. Maris just, they Coach Freeman announced he was the defensive player of the game. Bro was flying around out there. Like,
Physical.
yeah, that's what we needed to see. And I
Physical.
like being able to see the whole front seven just getting after it. Now, I did have a couple of deep balls that went over some of the DBs' heads. And, you know, Navy, not the best at converting on some of those, but it's the first game of the year, so that I give them a little bit of leniency with that. But we can't see too many plays like that anymore with guys just running wide
Especially,
open
over the
downfield.
middle, especially over the middle deep. Definitely saw some guys running open. And I mean, we can
that'll kill you.
attribute some of that to, the eyes and kind of playing that run,
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
stop the
that's what
run.
Navy does.
But we definitely coming up this week, even though we playing against a team that's, that's not a, FBS team or whatever it is, FCS, like the athletes on the outside, they're not gonna be much different. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing to slack at, and they coached by Eddie George, so you know
Exactly.
they're gonna have that
So
dog with them. Like,
they're gonna have
they're
that
not
dog.
gonna roll over for anybody.
Not at all. So yeah,
I
definitely.
think another thing that was super important coming out of that Navy game, only one injury. Whenever you can come out of a game against a triple option team and only have one injury, that I think he said it wasn't even going to be, but maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's key right there, because you can keep that going. Keep, like, the best ability is availability at all
Absolutely.
times.
And how the injuries we dealt with playing against some Navy, Air Force teams,
Oh man,
just
I'm talking
straight
about
Georgia
whole D
Tech.
line gone.
Man, just whole, every guy losing, just every guy just blowing knees out left and right, and it's just like, man, what's going on? Like, we doing something wrong, but
It's
we just getting
dangerous
cut,
out there. It's dangerous out there,
just getting
man.
cut down
Them
like
cut
trees,
blocks is
man.
no
And them
joke,
boys
Slim.
is
I'm
cutting
trying
you
to tell
down
you,
every
bro.
game, every play. So it's a tough game every year, even though they're not the most, physical. I mean, not the biggest guys or whatever. They're gonna play their hardest and they're gonna cut you every play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's one thing that they did. You always got to tip your hat to Navy. They fight to the end.
You're gonna fight.
That's their service academy, and they
Yeah, man.
take that with them whenever they're protecting this country.
Absolutely.
So definitely got to appreciate that and thank them for their service at all times.
Always thank you for your service.
Yeah. And so, but as you was talking about Tennessee State, I definitely think that's going to be a great opportunity for that program. This is the first HBCU team that's playing in Notre Dame Stadium. Like, that's huge right there, and I think that it's a testament to the man that Marcus Freeman is to be able to go out and extend that and make sure that happened during his tenure.
Absolutely, and I think I think it's really important even for the Notre Dame fans to see like it's a lot of talent out there, man. Like, it's even though these guys might not have the opportunity to get to a school like Notre Dame, like, just know they're gonna bring it. Like, and they really, like, those guys can play. They might not have the development, or maybe like Eddie George is gonna be I'm sure is a hell of a coach, but I'm sure like the development as far as his staff isn't as high as Freeman gonna have, like the guys that Freeman has on his staff, obviously. So the players aren't developing as much, but the athleticism is there. The 4.3s, the 4.4s, the benching 500, 600, those guys, they can do that stuff, but it might just not have the development that we have at Notre Dame. And so in the end, like, we should win, because we're going to win, because four quarters of football, we just going to outplay them. But they're going to have the athletes starting off, and they're going to come out hot. So just don't, if a guy goes off this weekend against Notre Dame, he gets drafted. Literally.
You'll remember that name for sure. This is definitely one of those make your money kind of games for sure.
So they're gonna bring everything. They're gonna bring everything. A guy knows, like, hey, if I have a good game this weekend, I can literally go to the league. So
write your future. You can write your own ticket just like that, man. So I think this is going to be a big game for the DBs. I think it's definitely going to be a big game for them. It's going to be interesting to see how the Tennessee State O-line holds up. I don't think that they will hold up well, but we might be seeing a double-digit sack day for Notre Dame for all we know out there.
No, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see.
I think that's what we need. I think that's what we need to just start off our home experience, our home debut. And like, actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your first home game, first home experience. I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
start
my
off.
first home
Let's
game
start off with yours.
we played Temple in 2013. That was my
Okay.
first
Okay.
home game. The first pep rally, the first
Mm-hmm.
walk, man, nothing like it, bro. Like I
Nothing.
remember just being a little kid, just my cheeks was hurting because I was just smiling the whole
Whole
time, just
time.
ear to ear, bro. Like I remember on the walk, me seeing my parents, seeing my niece and my brother. Like if I felt like I could have stayed in that moment for hours, like it was
Mm-hmm.
just amazing. And then the flip side of it getting even better once I stepped on the field for the first time. Like that first kickoff, yeah, ain't nothing like that. Like I
You play your
played
freshman year?
SPQs. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Play
yeah. I got
freshman. You
out
play
there on the
freshman
field
year.
freshman
Okay.
year. Yeah,
Okay. It's
played
right
a lot
there.
of special teams. Got a little bit in the sub package on
Yeah.
defense. But I got in there. Got some stripes. You know.
Because you played against
For,
Purdue. Was it Purdue? You played against? Did you get?
yeah, yeah.
Is
We
that
played
Purdue?
against Purdue.
Yeah. Okay.
Had that breakup. Nah, that was against Pitt when I had my first breakup
That
against
was
Tyler
Pitt. That was
Boyd.
it. Was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
right.
That was a
That's
good one.
right. But
Night
yeah, man.
game. Yeah, that joint was lit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My first home game. So my first home game I played was actually that same game, Temple.
Oh,
My
okay,
first game I played,
yeah.
I redshirted my freshman year. So we played in Ireland, come back, and when, like you said, the walk, the pep rally. So our schedule was a little different before you got here. So the year before you got it, we had chapel or mass the day of the game. So we would have
That
mass.
morning.
Yeah, we have mass, and then we would go from mass to the walk, like to the we do
Okay,
like the
yeah.
little, he do this little hype video. We go to the
Mm-hmm.
auditorium, do the hype
Leave out of
video,
the auditorium,
and then go
yeah.
right. Yeah, people was hella sleepy. We kept starting slow, so like,
Said them boys was falling
hey,
asleep in that bed.
yeah. So
Peace be
listen,
with you, them
I
boys.
used to be knocked out in mass. I can't even lie to you. It's early right before the game. I'm just knocked out. So,
Yeah.
man, so basically that first game, like, I'm nervous. I'm not even know if I'm redshirting or not. Like, they still like kind of got me like, you might go out there, you might not, you might play, you
Yeah.
might not. So I'm like getting ready. I'm in the locker room, do the walk, man. First of all, the walk is just insane. The first time you do it, it's like, everybody just cheering you on. You getting ready to go to the
Mhm.
locker room, and then you get to the end, and then all the upperclassmen just take off running to try to get taped the fastest.
Getting
Like,
taped
bro,
the
who's
fastest,
trying to get
bro.
so we can
Stealing
get out
all
to
the
the field?
snacks.
You feel me? Taking all the snacks, and then so I finally get out to the field. I'm putting my sleeves on. I'm trying to get my swag right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Get your swag right. Got
get
to.
out there, coach. Was it Coach Diaco? Time, man. I don't know if y'all knew Coach Diaco.
Bobby D, man. That was my man.
Real intense guy coming to you. Not playing. Go take all that stuff off.
Oh man, just rained on your whole parade. You was in
Oh,
the
hey,
mode.
hey,
You
I was
had
ready.
your headphones
Man,
in. You was
listen, I was
getting
playing
ready,
safety
Slim.
too, so all I knew I had to go down and hit somebody. Like, that's all I care about. Let me hit
Yeah.
somebody. He said, "You're not playing." He said, "You've got too
Rained
much
on
stuff on. Go take your stuff off." Like, I swear he was playing with me, bro.
Still,
Like,
you having too much fun
you
out
have
here,
too much
man.
fun right now. Like,
So
nah.
you
So,
having
yeah,
too much fun,
go
bro.
ahead.
Listen.
Yeah, go ahead, chill out. Man, so yeah, my
Oh
first, and
man.
man, I think we barely beat. I think we played Purdue actually. I think it was Purdue,
Yeah, I think so.
and
Yeah.
it was every game that year was close. So,
Yeah.
like, it was a
Yeah,
crazy
that's
season,
why
man.
it's exciting to see them boys putting up big points in the
Yeah,
first
for sure.
game this year. Like, I think that's definitely just to backtrack a little bit, but I think that's definitely going to do a lot for the confidence of the young receivers and for
Yeah,
Sam Hartman. Going out there throwing 4 or 5 touchdown passes the first game, then you come back next week, hopefully throw another 5 this week. You know what I mean? So yeah, his confidence will be through the roof. They'll be
absolutely.
comfortable. He'll have that trust with those guys. So I think there's definitely a foot on the gas kind of situation where you jump out early to make sure you set that stride.
Think about Sam Hartman, man. This guy was probably playing in front of what Wake Forest got that small stadium. It's like what,
Maybe like
30,000?
50,
30,
yeah,
30,
see,
40,
you
50?
better, yeah,
I
who
don't know. It ain't
knows,
that. It's
man?
not that big. It's
No
not that.
disrespect to the Deacons, but yeah, we don't
Right.
know, Slim.
Hey,
We
listen.
don't know.
You gonna when you get that Notre Dame stadium and you got touchdown Jesus in the back, and
Yeah.
that that little thing go off at the beginning. I don't even know the song, but it's like that
And
song every
there's a
time. And
magic.
hey, every
We
time
got to
that
get
song
that
go
joint
off,
playing. We
we
got
gotta
to
get
put that
that.
joint in there real quick, man. Or something, bro.
Hey, I haven't heard that song since college, but every time it come on, man, I might lose my mind. So I don't think we
Oh, yeah.
might not have, I might break my computer. We might let's keep it off.
No, don't worry. We're gonna put it in post production, so
Yeah, right.
only they can
Oh,
hear.
they can hear. I
Only
can't. They
they
can.
can hear. Yeah. No. We ain't gonna raise our blood pressure up like that for no reason, man. We're
Right.
getting older. We can't be doing that.
All right. So wait, I got one thing I gotta say before. So are we playoff contender? It's early, but how we looking as far as playoff contender? I mean, we got is it 14 spots? Are we doing it this? Is it the 14 spots this year or how
I
we?
think so. Yeah. I
We
don't think they
definitely in
changed
that.
it to the 6 yet. Yeah. So
We definitely in that.
I'm confident, man. I'll go put some money on them boys. Straight
Okay,
up.
big time.
I'll definitely go put
Is it
some
only
money
still
on
4
Notre
this year?
Dame.
Okay, it's still 4 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
I'll put some money on Notre Dame.
I still think we will. We still 4. I still think we 4.
Yeah.
We still 4.
I think what's really the game that's really gonna be the playoff contending game for us. Obviously, Ohio State, but I think that USC game is going to be super important.
Like, yeah, USC, they're looking a little tough already. I don't know if y'all seen that little young freshman boy. That young freshman look cold.
Listen, man. So I only slightly root for Caleb Williams because he went to my high school. So he's a DC guy, a Gonzaga dude. So I root for him. But when we're talking about SC as a whole, but Caleb Williams, though, I want him to go bring another Heisman Trophy back to DC and back to I Street because that's
he's a heck of a player. Yeah. He's a heck of a player. I didn't believe the hype until our game last year.
Oh
man.
Yeah, yeah, he was
the
a
hype
dog,
is real.
Man.
Hype is real. He's a good player. He's a good player. Very good player. Very good player. Man.
So before we close out on Navy, we got to give our underdog player of the week. Mm-hmm. I think we both agreed on who this would go to. I'll let you speak on a little bit. I got one little tidbit just about him, but I'll let you introduce him and say your piece first.
Yeah, no, man. I think last week we said this is kind of the guy who was our candidate, Deion Colzie, man, underdog of the week. I think he got seven offensive snaps, a touchdown. Yeah. I think he had another catch, maybe more. I don't know how many catches he had. I'm not sure how many catches he had, but every time I saw he was, when he got the ball, he was making plays. So that's all you can ask for. 7 reps on offense. Not getting that many opportunities, making the most out of your opportunities, maximizing.
Yeah, 3 catches. Yeah, 3 catches for 45 and a tutty.
On 7 plays.
On 7 plays, man.
Don't get much better than that. Hey, making the most out of your opportunities. Deion Colzie, 100%. Hell of a game, man. Hell of a game.
Colzie,
lucky underdog of the week.
Man, for sure, man. And just going off of that, man, one thing that was super important that a coach had told me when I was at Notre Dame, he said, "Don't count the reps, make the reps count." Mm-hmm. And his game right here was just a testament to that. Like 7 plays on offense, 3 of them you got the rock. Now them 3 times you scored once, man. That's unbelievable, bro. And that's going to do nothing but give your coaches more confidence in you so that those plays is only going to go up. That pitch count is only going to go up, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yeah, bro. Big shouts out to Deion. Keep doing your thing, man. We're proud of you, and we see you over here, Lucky Underdogs, man.
Yep, man. Going, underdog squad, we see you, man. We see you.
Mm-hmm. The inaugural Lucky Underdog, too.
The inaugural
first one.
Lucky Underdog, man. It's a pleasure. Man. Happy as you, man, because we've been watching you. We know your potential, and we know you got it in you. So, man, just keep on doing it.
We're gonna have to get some T-shirts or something made.
Yeah, like for sure.
Just something slight for the guys. Show our appreciation. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right. Anything else you wanted to touch on Tennessee State? I know it's definitely that first game back in Notre Dame Stadium. It's definitely going to be. Like that first game of the year at Notre Dame Stadium is always the best. Like,
yeah, it is.
From the students, the atmosphere, the weather,
campus,
like it gets no better. It gets no.
Because then, just like the last thing you said, the weather, it just goes downhill from there. Like you get those about week, it's just, you get those like 2 home games in September. Then after that, you might October, you just kind of like throwing it up in the air. It's just a coin toss at that point. So you might get snow, it might rain,
Yeah.
it might be
Especially
windy and
them
cold.
night games in October.
Oh yeah, them night games, you know what time it
Bundle
is.
up. Bundle
Yeah, we
up,
already
man.
know
For
it's
sure.
you already got your mind right, man. You practicing in the cold, like practicing in the
No
cold.
doubt about it, Slim. No doubt
Ooh,
about it,
the weather,
bro.
man,
All
that
right.
is a different time. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Notre Dame's new practice facilities? I haven't been back on campus since
I
they built
haven't.
the
I've
new
been
indoor.
I have seen like video tours. I ain't seen the real thing yet.
Yeah,
I'm excited to go back and see him, bro. Cause
yeah, me too.
like I
Me too.
just, you know,
What game we going to this year, bro? What game? What game we hitting,
I
man?
think I gotta hit SC. I think I gotta hit
Yeah,
SC. I wanted to hit
yeah. I was
Ohio
thinking
State.
about
I
that
gotta do a
too.
little stuff over here down in Texas for that weekend. But I do.
I
I'm gonna
got
try to
some
hit.
business to handle.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to hit USC for sure. Try to hit USC
Okay,
for sure.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. We're gonna plan on that. We're gonna be in South Bend for that one, and then yeah, we'll see who we can get to stop by, man, for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. But before we wrap up, we gotta touch on something that's a little pop culture related. So I don't know if y'all heard, but Noah Lyles had some choice words for the NBA's wording of their championship. He was upset that they call themselves the world champions. And I get it. You know, he's a track star. He's somebody that, as an individual, represents America versus the world. Nobody's taking any of that away from him at all. And he's a star. The boy do his thing. Be running for sure. But I think he was just a little too in the spotlight for this one. I don't know if somebody was telling him this was going to go over a little bit better, but yeah, I think he just missed the mark completely with this one. Like,
Yeah, I think he definitely ruffled some feathers. I don't think he was really meaning to ruffle, or maybe he was. I don't think he was meant. I don't know if his words. I don't know if he really thought about his words before he was really put them out there, because you say something like that, you got to know them boys, especially them boys, especially in the NBA. Like, those are the best players in the world. I mean, the best athletes in the
best.
world too. Like, them
Yeah.
6-7 foot athletes over here just running and dunking all play, and shooting threes and man, listen, you got to know them boys gonna take some disrespect to that. Like, so
Of course. And at the end of the day, my thing on it is the NBA is definitely the best basketball league in the world.
absolutely.
So if you are walking on planet Earth and you think you're any good at basketball, you're trying to get to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not there, then you probably not one of the best in the world, or there was some circumstances around that. But either way, you get a chance in the Olympics to prove that you could be the best in the world, but consistently, we
We
taking
are the best in the world.
second tier NBA players and going and winning gold. So come on, bro. Like, you reaching at this point. Like,
Listen, man, I'm not
get
gonna.
it? What you mad? Like, what
Hey,
you
listen,
mad? Like,
I'm gonna say,
somebody
listen,
banged
bro.
your
You take
girl
your
or
wins. I'm
something,
gonna say,
fam?
like, take your wins and go at home, because man, listen.
Bro, you got gold medals,
That's what
fam.
I'm
Like, what you
saying,
talking about some other stuff
man,
for, man?
you know them Jamaicans, man. You know them the Usain Bolts. They coming. They coming. So don't
No,
think
they running.
they
running.
running. It's just, I know
Yeah.
they might not have a Usain Bolt right now, but they got somebody just in the works is just running down on the beach somewhere. So don't think
No doubt
your spot
about
is
it, man.
safe. So, like, you might have your world
No.
championship this year, but when the Olympics come,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know who gonna pop up, because I
Up
feel
for
like
grabs,
Usain Bolt
man.
kind of popped up out of nowhere, and he was just, all of a sudden he's just a new world record,
Just
like
one of the greatest sprinters of all
the
time.
greatest
Like,
sprinter, the fastest man
just
ever,
popped
like
up, pow.
wow,
Yeah,
just like
man.
that.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it's definitely interesting though. That's an interesting take though, because I felt that when I was younger, before I really understood the scope of the NBA and the fact that there are international players that can come and play in the NBA. So it's not like it's just Americans in that league.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if the NFL gets more notoriety internationally. I know, playing the games over in London and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know that's definitely been great. And I'm pretty sure they have some outreach programs where guys go on like missionary trips, and they go to different countries and they teach the sport. And I know they got other leagues over in Japan and Italy and
Yeah.
things like that. Just wondering your thoughts. What do you think it takes to get football more worldwide?
I mean, definitely like what we do. I mean, just how the NFL is doing now. Just sending, having games in different countries. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a hard thing because it's obviously an American game. It takes a lot of preparation, it's a lot goes into it, and I think that I don't know if other countries even want to like get themselves into all that, like
Yeah.
just the whole the whole backbone of the football kind of sport, because even like soccer, man, it's like it's such a simple it's so much more simple game than football. Football is so complicated as far as plays and
Mm-hmm.
soccer, obviously, you got to have everything needs to be lined up and stuff, but it's so easy to just go out there and kick a ball. Instead of football, you got to get a cleats, you got to have a helmet, you got to have shoulder pads. So I think that's where it really makes it hard, because it's just like, even though it's not in America, it's not an expensive sport. Like other countries that it might not be the same.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's the main thing. Not the interest wise. I just think that they're not really able to kind of equip like the backbone of the football sport, just being able to
Yeah.
pads and just living up to all that stuff. It's a lot for sure.
Yeah. I think one thing is definitely the development, being able to get people early. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think what happens in America is, you got guys that started playing football at 4 or 5 years
Mm-hmm.
old.
Yep.
And even when I played in Canada, the guys that are Canadian nationals that made it into the CFL, they'd only started playing football, ninth, 10th grade. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, y'all are definitely behind the ball.
Behind.
You're about 6, 7 years of experience behind, well, more than that.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's definitely, I think that's probably the biggest hurdle
Mm-hmm.
in terms of getting it more notoriety worldwide and getting those athletes worldwide into the NFL. I think the
Yeah,
development is the biggest key.
for
I mean, you
sure.
got a few Canadians in the league that do that thing. So I think it's only going to go up from here, hopefully,
Yeah, for
if
sure.
people believe that it's safe.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's hard to I'm not sure if I would want to come from a country halfway across the world and be like, all right, I'm just gonna go take some hits. Like
You know what I mean? Run into a 330
you
pound
feel
man
me?
at full speed, see what happens.
You feel me? So it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell when you can be like, I can just go kick the ball and I could probably get paid
Mhm.
more, low key.
Yeah. So it's interesting, man.
Yeah,
Yep. So
yeah,
I
man.
think that's all of our time
Yeah.
today.
Wait,
Signing off.
let's not forget about our lucky. Let's get our candidate for the week, or our lucky dog,
Oh
what was it,
yeah, got to
underdog for the
give
weekend.
Dion a little more love, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but who's our candidate for this weekend? Who you think who we
So
thinking?
this weekend, so
I gotta go
somebody that
DB.
I had,
I gotta go DB
yeah,
for
I had
sure.
my eyes on somebody, man. I had my eyes on Jaden Mickey, bro.
Jaden
I
Mickey.
think, yeah, I think he's gonna do his thing, bro. I like him in that 7 too. He's got
Mm-hmm.
that 7 on, so I got a special affinity for that.
Absolutely.
D Butler 7 over here. So especially at any DB, but just the way the physicality that he was playing with out there and the way that he moved, I'm expecting some big things out of him this year, especially coming in behind Ben and behind Cam Hart. I think he'll get a lot of action and he's going to make his hay. Like
Hey,
that's when you're that number 3 corner, you definitely you get the work, and
right.
that's what you want. You want
Mm-hmm.
that work.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. So Jaden Mickey is
Yeah, keep your
our
eyes on
candidate
him.
for this weekend, and we go. So
Mhm.
make sure we keep and looking out for him. Look, he gonna make some big plays this weekend against this Tennessee State team. So man, excited
Yes,
for it.
sir. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all tune in to Notre Dame versus Tennessee State on Saturday. And we'll check back in with y'all next week. As
We out of
always,
here.
Devin Butler, lucky underdogs.
CJ, we out of here, baby. See y'all.
Peace.